your inspirations, you had mentioned obviously 60s and 70s. What are specific artists that inspire you, and what about them is what draws you to them?
Yeah, again, just, the singer-songwriters that really, the they're founders of singer-songwriters, Bob
Mm-hmm.
Dylan and Joni Mitchell and Carole King and Patti Smith and all of these, artists from, that time period. Just the way they wrote, they weren't just writing about, this happened to me, or like, oh, I like you, and let's, like, like, they're not just telling day-to-day things, but they're telling stories. They're telling full
Mm-hmm.
stories with their songs, and you can't you cannot understand it just by listening to it. I feel like, for me especially, I'm like, what, let's digest the song. What are they really talking about, and how did
Mm-hmm.
they tell this story through, the way that they wrote? And I really have to actually, read it and understand it. And it's just something about it is just so like kind of mysterious, but also not, just because, they know exactly what they're talking about, but they won't directly, tell you. You
Yeah.
have to really try to understand it. And I really love that about those kinds of songwriters.
Yeah, especially with
Um,
Patty. I totally get that with her. Is there's
yeah.
always an underlying meaning between her songs, and I had taken a music class this past semester, and that was one thing that I admired about her, and especially Bob, was the fact that, you would have to almost like look into them as people
Hmm.
and look into them as like, well, what was their inspiration behind the song, and actually research it, because
Right.
they're telling you one thing, but it's almost like a poetic kind of thing, like a poem,
Right.
how there's always an underlying meaning, but sometimes it gets lost between the words.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
I
I,
like
I don't
that.
think it's interesting to listen to a song and know exactly what they're talking about, because there's nothing to really grasp onto, and it's kind of boring. Like, I get bored, listening to
Hmm.
the kind of pop music that's really taken, control of today's, industry. It's just kind of boring and bland, and I don't know. I'm like, I want something more exciting. Like, I want to be on my toes, and I want to feel like I need to search for the meaning,
Yeah,
and I think that's really missing.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so I guess for future, and as we kind of wrap up the interview, what is next for you? Do you have any exciting news that you want to talk about?
Yeah. I'm starting to film a music video for Drive. I'm working with a great team of all females, and it feels really good. And I really have a lot of respect for people who are willing to just give their time, for free, and to work with each other. We're all artists trying to, like, make our way in the industry in some way, and we're all helping each other out for free, and it's really cool. And it's kind of cool to, to be able to say, yeah, I paid, like, literally no money for this, and it's achievable. Your dreams are achievable. You don't need to be, extremely wealthy, and you don't need all of these things in order to achieve, what you dream, what you're dreaming for. So yeah, I'm starting to film a music video, and it's going to come out in August, sometime early
Yeah.
August. um and I think the music video will really help people understand what I'm actually talking about in Drive.
Hmm.
I don't think it's not as surface level as people think. So
Yeah.
I
Now,
think
are
that's
you
cool.
someone who, I guess this kind of like joins the question, do you take a lot of inspiration for like visuals? So like for Drive, producing a music video, do you think music videos are important when trying to tell a story with a song?
I think humans are completely visual. I think we are such visual people, and I think that we love being able to actually see something. It's different just hearing it. When you actually get to see it, it's just so much more engaging, and you really, it's like digging your nails really into something more. And I think, yeah, I think it's like, it's, it's pivotal. You have to show
Hmm.
something visual for people to really understand. So I'm really excited for that. I've like
Yeah.
never even, it was so weird. I really wasn't thinking about having a music video at all. And then this girl I actually worked with, Erin Moreno, she's directing it. She DM'd me and she was like, "Let's make your video." And I was like, "Wait, yeah,
Yeah.
let's make my video." And
It's exciting, yeah.
yeah, it's still kind of horrifying. I'm like, I don't want to mouth words. Like, that's so weird. Like, actually thinking
Yeah.
about, like, a
Yeah.
music video, like, weird,
Yeah, yeah,
like,
yeah.
really weird. So it's like cool. I'm really excited to actually get to filming more of it. And
Yeah.
the post-production process is going to be really cool. So that's really exciting.
Yeah.
And also, yes, I've been working on a new song that I really want to release very soon. It's called Pretty Young Things. And it's kind of social commentary on how young girls, you know, how we are treated in society and the struggles that we deal with, and just how we navigate life as a young girl. And, you know, so I'm really excited about that, to actually say something and have a voice in some way. So that's really exciting too. I don't know when I'm releasing that. I'm not sure if I want to wait for a few more songs to maybe release an EP, or if I want to do it as my next single. I haven't decided, but I am always working on new stuff.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's super, super exciting. I'm excited to hear that too, because it sounds like an awesome song. And I think it's something that, one, I love that you're working with all females for your video.
Yeah.
And two, I love that you mentioned that about, you know, like the whole purpose behind that song, because I think it's so powerful to be able to, especially in today's society, it's such a man-ridden kind of world. Like, I hate to say that, but it is. And I love to see women be able to empower themselves and empower other women. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
So I guess for last question, and this kind of covers everything, what are you currently listening to? And you can list a couple artists or a few songs.
Yeah, I think the artists that I'm listening to right now are really inspiring my sound. I'm really going for like funky, you know, fun, like feel good summer right now. And so, I like really love the band Parcels. They're kind of new, but I feel like they've also been around for a while, but they're like really coming up. They're so funky and great.
I love their song Lighten Up.
Oh yeah.
It's so good. Yeah.
They're so great. So Parcels, Always Lord, she's so great. I'm really digging Maggie Rogers right now. I'm also like really into Still Woozy, which is crazy. I
love him.
Because Spotify like made like a playlist for my artist, like, and he was on it, and I was like, this is such a compliment to me, because he's
he's so good. Yeah. He's been on a big come up too between like the last few months, which is crazy.
Totally. Yeah. So he's sick. And it's kind of like, like really digging those funky, you know, like that's really that's
and really then we have one more question that's in the comments. Are you going to release an album?
That is the dream. Yes. I have so many songs that are, you know, just they exist in my songwriting book and nowhere else. And, you know, I'd love to record them, and I'd love to like start figuring out how I want them, you know, to be produced, the production of it. I think it's a little scary to me to like think of producing an entire album like on a computer, which is like, you know, how I've been producing, you know, my music as of right now. I feel like I want to wait to produce an entire album, like a complete album, because I think of it as an entire masterpiece. Like I think of it as, you know, first song to the last song, it is a story. It is, you know, a whole like life. And for me, it's like I would really want to, you know, start doing that if and when the opportunity feels right, and I get to work with, you know, like a whole team of people. Like that'd be really cool. So I'm just like working hard and trying to get myself out there and get my feet wet in the industry until I feel like, you know, the opportunity and the time feels right. And and then I'd love to release an entire album. That's the dream. Yeah.